The African savanna stretches across more than 5 million square miles, a breathtaking expanse shaped by ancient geological forces and the relentless rhythm of changing climates over millions of years. From the rolling plains of East Africa to the southern reaches of the continent, the savanna unfolds as a tapestry of endless grasslands, scattered rocky outcrops and winding seasonal rivers that pulse with life. As dawn breaks, golden sunlight spills across the land, lighting up a world where the horizon seems endless and the air shimmers with the promise of another day. The weather here is a dramatic dance between extremes. Long, punishing dry seasons give way to sudden, life-giving rains. The earth transforms, dried up and cracked one moment, lush and vibrant the next. This yearly cycle sets the pace for all life, starting huge events like the Great Migration. Millions of wildebeest, zebras and antelope rush across the plains, bravely crossing swollen rivers and avoiding hungry predators, driven by an old instinct to find fresh water and green grass. The savanna's plants are a testament to survival. Super-tall elephant grass sways in the wind, its blades tough and strong, while acacia trees, topped with yellow blossoms and armed with sharp thorns, offer precious shade and shelter. Rocky hills rise from the plains, giving shelter to leopards and good spots for birds of prey to watch. Along the riverbanks, life thrives. Herds gather to drink, crocodiles hide under the water, and the air buzzes with insects. Every plant and landscape feature is perfectly made to handle the harsh sun, the lack of water, and the constant threat of fire. In this huge wild place, countless lives are connected in a complex web of relationships. Lions wait in the tall grass, their golden fur blending perfectly with the land. Elephants roam in groups led by females, making paths through the bushes looking for water. Giraffes stretch their long necks to eat leaves from treetops, while antelope run across the open plains, always watching for danger. Dung beetles roll their precious ball across the earth, and groups of birds fly up in a sudden swirling cloud. Every creature, from the smallest insect to the largest mammal, plays a very important part in the daily story of survival. Here, plenty and scarcity exist side by side, and only the ones who can adapt best survive in the never-ending fight for life. The cheetah, the sneaky spotted hunter, is the king of being quiet and alone in the huge savanna. All by itself it moves smoothly through the tall golden grass. Every muscle is ready for what the wild brings. It lives a life where it has to hide and stay safe, where every step is careful, every move planned so that animals it hunts and other big animals don't see it. Its spotted fur, which is like a natural work of art, blends right in with the sunny grass and the moving shadows. The cheetah's slim, strong body lets it climb acacia trees easily. It carries its hard-won food high up, away from other animals that might try to steal it. Up in the branches it finds a rare safe moment, looking out at the endless flatlands below. The cheetah is very protective of its home. It marks its area with smell and sharp claws, making invisible lines across the land. When it gets dark, its sharp night vision helps it see through the darkness, letting it move like a shadow among shadows. With each quiet step it becomes like a ghost in the moonlit grass, sneaking up on its prey with patience and care. Life starts in secret for the cheetah's babies. Born blind and weak, the cubs cuddle close to their mum, hidden deep in the grass. With her watching them carefully, they slowly start to see the world. They learn how to survive by playing and watching every little sound and movement around them. Training never stops. Each cub has to learn how to stay hidden, how to wait, and how to jump with great power. Through endless games of sneaking and surprising, they get better at the skills that will one day let them hunt by themselves, using only their smarts and quickness in the huge savanna. For the cheetah, Being alone isn't a bad thing. It's a secret strength. Sitting on top of a lonely hill or with its shape against the setting sun, the cheetah faces each day's problems with amazing grace and quiet determination. Here, in the heart of the wild, the master of being quiet and alone keeps going, all by itself, but never beaten. In the heart of the African savannah, the leopard starts its hunt very carefully and patiently. The golden light of morning shines through the tall grass, making shadows move where the leopard walks, almost like you can't see it. Every muscle is ready, every step is planned. The leopard's eyes look all over the land, searching for the smallest move, a twitch of an ear, a ripple in the grass. It picks its food carefully, liking small to medium-sized animals like impalas, rabbits or birds that live on the ground. The choice is never random. The leopard thinks about how far away it is, how much cover there is, and how alert each possible target is. Once it picks its target, the leopard lowers its body, getting very close to the ground. Its spotted fur mixes perfectly with the sunny spots and the moving grass. The leopard moves super quietly, placing each paw carefully so it doesn't break a twig or make a leaf rustle. It stops, often freezing in place whenever the animal it's hunting lifts its head or feels something is wrong. The leopard's breathing slows down, its tail wiggles a little, ready to go. It creeps forward, using every bush, every shadow, every dip in the ground to hide, getting closer and closer, until it's about 30 feet away or even less. Suddenly the time is right. In a quick flash, the leopard bursts out from where it was hiding, jumping towards the animal that doesn't know it's coming. It speeds up incredibly fast, its muscles flexing under its smooth fur. The leopard aims for the throat or neck, trying to take down its target quickly and easily. But the savannah is a place where you always have to be careful. Sometimes the animal runs away at the very last second, leaping off in a desperate try to get away. Other times the hunt is stopped by other dangerous animals like hyenas, lions or wild dogs who come running because of the noise and want to steal the food. The leopard has to change its plan, sometimes giving up the chase to avoid getting hurt or fighting. The leopard eats many different things, just like the savannah itself. When it hunts rabbits, it uses its super-fast moves and quickness, darting through the grass after its speedy prey. The chase is short and exciting, often ending with one quick, strong pounce. For birds, the leopard waits hidden, using the tall grass to get close before it jumps out super-fast, grabbing the bird before it can fly away. Hunting antelopes needs a different plan. The leopard watches the group, looking for one that's a bit behind or not paying attention. It uses surprise, sneaking closer and closer until it's very near. Then, with a sudden rush, it tries to get to the antelope before it can react. The chase is a test of how fast and how well it can time things, and only the best leopards win. Sometimes the leopard shows how smart it is by going to the rivers and waterholes. Here it waits patiently at the edge, its eyes fixed on the shiny water. With a quick swipe of its paw, it can grab a fish from the water, adding another kind of food to what it eats. This ability to eat different things helps the leopard survive even when its usual food is hard to find, showing how amazing it is at living in a changing world. When the hunt goes well, you can really see how good the leopard is. It drags its prize, which can sometimes be heavier than itself, up into the branches of a strong tree. Climbing is a huge show of strength and balance, with the leopard's powerful legs gripping the bark as it goes up. High above the ground, the leopard keeps its meal safe from animals like hyenas and lions that walk around below. In the leafy safety of the treetops, the leopard eats in peace. It eats slowly, enjoying every bite, and often hides extra food in the branches to come back to later. This way, it always has food and doesn't risk losing its hard-earned meal to other animals. Every part of the hunt, from sneaking quietly to the fast chase, from the smart climb to the peaceful meal, needs a special mix of being sneaky, fast, strong, and able to change. The leopard's amazing ability to do all these things by itself makes it one of the savannah's most impressive and successful hunters, a true artist of staying alive in the wild. In the heart of the savannah, a silent battle unfolds between the fastest hunters and the swiftest prey. The cheetah, the undisputed king of speed, reigns supreme on the chase track, yet its throne is fragile, teetering between moments of dominance and hours of caution. The cheetah is built for explosive acceleration, with a sleek body and flexible muscles propelling itself like lightning. But its prey, such as the gazelle and impala, have evolved their own incredible speed and evasive skills, always staying one step ahead of its deadly jaws. In this race, each participant carries the secrets of its evolution. The cheetah boasts large lungs and a powerful heart, while the gazelles rely on quick reflexes and sharp, zigzag movements, changing direction suddenly to confuse the predator. The chase here is short and exhausting. The cheetah cannot sustain its speed for long, and if it fails, it needs a significant amount of time to recover its breath, while the gazelles return to their herd, always watching the horizon with caution. Cheetahs rely on their keen eyesight in broad daylight, observing the movement of prey from afar. Meanwhile, gazelles depend on their collective vigilance, with each member of the herd acting as an eye watching for danger. Both predator and prey master the art of stealth. The cheetah approaches silently before pouncing, while gazelles hide their young in the grass, teaching them to stay still until the danger passes. Male cheetahs form coalitions for hunting and protection, while gazelles rely on the strength of the herd, with the older members leading the collective escape at the first sign of danger. In the savannah, solitude means vulnerability. A solitary cheetah or an isolated gazelle becomes an easy target, where every moment of inattention could be their last. Even the fastest hunters are not safe. Lions and hyenas stalk cheetahs, and gazelles remain in a constant state of alertness as each side faces endless threats. Cheetahs often have to abandon their kills, and gazelles flee from death at the last moment. In this world, every meal and every escape is a temporary victory. The young learn the arts of survival from an early age. Cheetah cubs and young gazelles practice running and evasion, for the future does not spare the weak. Despite the vastness of the savannah, the numbers of cheetahs and gazelles are dwindling. The struggle for survival never ceases, and speed alone does not guarantee survival. In the end, speed is a double-edged sword. It grants the cheetah and the gazelle a chance at life, but it places them in an endless race against time, where only the fastest and the smartest survive in the kingdom of the savannah. Deep within the heart of the African savannah, two remarkable hunters emerge, the serval and the black-backed jackal. Each is a master of survival, perfectly attuned to the unforgiving rhythms of this wild landscape. Their lives unfold in parallel, shaped by instinct, adaptation, and the relentless pursuit of food. The serval, a solitary and elusive feline, moves silently through the tall grass. Its large radar-like ears swivel with every sound, detecting the faintest rustle of a rodent beneath the dense cover. In contrast, the black-backed jackal prefers the company of its kin, often seen in pairs or small family groups, their cooperation giving them an edge in the ever-shifting savannah. The serval's hunting style is a marvel of precision. With its long legs, it glides above the grass, pausing to listen. Suddenly it freezes, ears locked on a hidden mouse. In a heartbeat, the serval launches itself high into the air, landing with pinpoint accuracy. Its leap is not just a display of agility, but a calculated strike, perfected by generations of evolution. This extraordinary technique allows the serval to catch more than half of its intended prey, an astonishing success rate among wild cats. Each successful hunt is a testament to its patience and skill, as it plucks rodents and small birds from their hiding places, sustaining itself in a world where every meal is hard-won. The black-backed jackal, meanwhile, is a creature of cunning and adaptability. Whether hunting alone or with its mate, it scans the horizon for opportunity. Its diet is as varied as the savanna itself: rodents, birds, insects, and even the eggs of ground-nesting birds. The jackal's strategy shifts with the seasons, always seeking the path of least resistance. But the jackal is not just a hunter. It is also a skilled scavenger, approaching the remains of a lion's kill with calculated caution. Every scrap of meat is a precious resource, and the jackal's willingness to exploit every opportunity is key to its survival. It waits patiently, ever watchful for a moment when the larger predators have moved on. Within their tight-knit family groups, jackals communicate with yips and howls, defending their territory and sharing food. This social structure is vital, allowing them to raise pups in safety and to outwit rivals. Each member plays a role, from sentinel to provider, weaving a tapestry of cooperation that strengthens their hold on the land. Both serval and jackal are masters of adaptation. As the rains come and go and the grasslands shift from lush green to parched gold, they alter their habits. The serval may hunt more birds when rodents are scarce, while the jackal turns to insects or scavenging when prey is elusive. Their flexibility is their greatest weapon against the unpredictability of the wild. In the grand web of the savanna, both animals play crucial roles. The serval keeps rodent populations in check, while the jackal recycles nutrients by consuming carrion. Their presence helps maintain the delicate balance of this ecosystem, ensuring that life in the savanna continues to thrive. In this ever-changing world, only the most adaptable survive. The serval's solitary precision and the jackal's social intelligence are the secrets to their endurance. Together, they embody the spirit of the savanna: resilient, resourceful, and forever wild. Deep in the heart of the African savanna, the honey badger stands tall, a living emblem of resilience and defiance. With its striking black and white coat bristling in the golden light, this small creature surveys its vast, untamed world, undaunted by the dangers that lurk in every shadow. The honey badger's reputation for fearlessness is legendary, and every day is a new test of its unyielding spirit. Armed with a remarkably thick, loose skin and a jaw that can crush bone, the honey badger faces down predators many times its size. Lions, leopards, and hyenas have all learned to respect its ferocity. Even when a venomous snake strikes, sinking its fangs deep, the honey badger rarely falters. Its body weathers the poison, and after a brief collapse it often rises again, undaunted, relentless, and ready to continue the fight. The honey badger's quest for food is a tireless journey. With powerful claws, it tears into the earth, unearthing beetle larvae and termites hidden beneath the surface. Its nose twitches, ever alert as it sniffs out the faintest scent of a meal, and its sharp teeth make quick work of even the toughest exoskeletons. But insects are only the beginning. The honey badger is a master hunter, stalking rodents through the tall grass and launching itself at snakes with astonishing speed. With a swift, calculated bite to the head, it dispatches its prey, immune to the venom that would fell almost any other animal. Each hunt is a display of unmatched skill and courage. Even the beehive, fiercely guarded by swarms of angry bees, is no match for the honey badger's determination. Sometimes it follows the call of the greater honey-guide bird, which leads it straight to the hidden treasure. Ignoring the stings that pepper its skin, the badger rips open the hive, feasting on sweet honey and nourishing larvae, savouring the reward of its boldness. Alone, the honey badger roams the endless savanna, undeterred by the scorching sun or the looming threat of larger predators. It squeezes through thorny thickets, climbs trees in pursuit of birds' eggs, and swims across muddy streams, always pressing forward. Every obstacle is met with ingenuity and grit as the honey badger adapts to survive in a world that offers no guarantees. With every determined stride, the honey badger embodies the very essence of perseverance. As the sun sets over the savanna, its silhouette stands as a testament to nature's indomitable will. A creature that refuses to yield, and whose tenacious stand ensures its place among Africa's most remarkable survivors. In the heart of the savannah, a relentless battle for dominance unfolds every day and night. Here, every meal is a hard-won prize, and each hunt is a test of skill, patience, and survival. The solitary leopard, moving silently through the tall grass, embodies the essence of this struggle. With every step, it must remain unseen, its muscles tensed in anticipation, eyes locked on its unsuspecting prey. When the moment is right, the leopard explodes into action, relying on stealth and precision to secure its meal. But the victory is fleeting. Even after a successful hunt, the leopard's challenge is far from over. Hyenas, ever watchful and cunning, gather at the scent of blood, their numbers and ferocity overwhelming the lone hunter. Sometimes a pride of lions arrives, their sheer power and authority forcing the leopard to abandon its hard-earned catch. The leopard, outmatched, must retreat to the safety of the trees, watching as its prize is devoured by others. Lions reign supreme atop the savannah's hierarchy. Their roars echo across the plains, a warning to all rivals. With coordinated strength they patrol their territory, driving away intruders, be they leopards, hyenas, or even other lions. The pride's dominance is absolute, and their presence shapes the very rhythm of life for every creature in their domain. Other predators, sensing the approach of these formidable rulers, melt into the shadows or climb into the trees, hoping to avoid a deadly confrontation. Yet even among lions, the struggle for dominance never ceases. Rival males clash in brutal battles, their roars and blows shaking the earth. These confrontations are fierce and often fatal, as only the strongest and most determined can claim the right to rule. The victor secures not just territory, but the future of his lineage, while the defeated is driven into exile, wounded and alone. For the cheetah, the fastest animal on land, speed is both a gift and a curse. Its slender frame is built for bursts of incredible acceleration, but not for fighting off larger, stronger predators. After a breathtaking chase and a successful kill, the cheetah must eat quickly, always alert for the approach of hyenas, lions, or even opportunistic jackals. More often than not, the cheetah is forced to abandon its meal, watching from a distance as scavengers and vultures descend to claim what remains. Across the savannah, this cycle of competition and conflict is unending. Predators of all kinds, leopards, lions, cheetahs, hyenas, jackals, and vultures, vie for every scrap of food and every inch of territory. Each victory for one is a loss for another, and every day brings new challenges. In this harsh and beautiful world, only the strongest, the smartest, and the most adaptable survive. The struggle for dominance is the heartbeat of the savannah, driving the endless dance of life and death beneath the open sky. In the heart of the savannah, the wild world faces constant, tough threats that decide what happens to every animal. The land itself is hard. Cracked earth goes on for miles, and the waterholes that used to be full have shrunk to muddy spots. This forces desperate animals to gather and fight for every last drop. As the sun comes up and goes down, making the sky look unsure, the savannah becomes a place where animals struggle every day, and staying alive is never a sure thing. The harsh dry spells and not enough water test how strong every kind of animal is. Herds get smaller, their numbers cut down by hunger and thirst, while the big open plains sound quiet because many didn't make it. Lonely hunters walk through the thin grass, their eyes sharp and hungry, knowing that every hunt could mean living or dying. Hunters who used to rule their areas now find themselves fighting hard against each other. With less food to catch, rival meat-eaters meet more often, leading to tense standoffs and desperate chases. The young and the weak are especially in danger, often getting caught by smarter or stronger, more experienced hunters. Even the animals that eat dead things, like vultures, fly in circles above, waiting for what will surely happen in this never-ending fight. Sudden changes in nature make things even worse. Strong storms gather without warning, bringing heavy rain that floods the land or lightning that starts wildfires. Fires race across the plains, burning everything in their way and making animals run, often leaving behind the weak and the slow. These natural disasters can wipe out whole homes in a flash, pushing those who survive to their very limit. As the land changes, new dangers pop up. Plants that don't belong here grow over the native grasses, messing up the careful balance of food and shelter. Water sources shrink and disappear, leaving only the toughest or most flexible animals to claim what's left. The fight for these shrinking resources gets even harder, and the delicate balance of the savanna is about to break. The future of this old ecosystem is hanging by a thread shaped by the raw power of nature and the never-ending fight to stay alive. In this wild world, only the strongest and most flexible survive as the timeless story of life and death plays out under the huge, uncertain sky. In the heart of the savanna, life keeps going, even with all the tough stuff it faces. The hunters who are on their own, like the cheetah, the lion who hunts alone, the shy serval and the brave honey badger, they all find a way to live in a world where every day is a test to stay alive. The cheetah, fast and quiet, sneaks through the golden grass. Her muscles are ready to spring as she waits for just the right moment to pounce. The lion, away from his group, moves slowly and carefully. His golden eyes are fixed on animals far away, knowing that one mistake could mean no food for days. As the sun comes up and goes down, the savanna's rhythm keeps playing. Groups of antelope and zebra walk across the open plains, always watching, always careful. The serval, with its big ears, listens for the smallest sound, jumping high to grab a mouse from the grass that didn't see it coming. The honey badger, not scared of anything, digs and digs for food, not even afraid to fight the most poisonous snakes. Each animal changes to fit its surroundings, learning new ways to find water when it's dry, looking for hidden food, and figuring out how to outsmart both those who hunt them and those they hunt. In this place that's always changing, the wild animals of the savanna show how strong they are. Young cheetahs practice running fast while their mom watches, and lion cubs learn how to sneak around from the older lions. Friendships are made and broken, areas are won and lost, and every creature has to grab every chance to live. How animals and their home work together is always changing, shaped by the different seasons and the never-ending search for life. The fight to save the savanna is a fight for the future of all the different kinds of life there, for the careful balance that keeps this wild place going, and for the strong spirit of what's still wild. With every new group of babies, hope starts fresh. The young learn from the old, and the circle of life keeps turning, making sure that the savanna's story stays bright and alive forever. As the golden sun dips beneath the horizon, the savanna undergoes a profound transformation. The vibrant world of daylight, filled with the calls of birds and the bustle of grazers, slowly fades away, replaced by a realm woven from shadows and silence. In this shifting twilight, a new caste of hunters awakens. The air cools and the grasslands become a stage for a silent ballet, where every movement is calculated and every sound carries meaning. From the gnarled branches of an acacia, the haunting call of the African scops owl echoes through the darkness. Its voice, both eerie and beautiful, signals the beginning of the nocturnal hunt. With eyes perfectly attuned to the faintest glimmer of moonlight, the owl glides effortlessly through the night. Its wings, cloaked in velvety feathers, muffle every beat, allowing it to move like a ghost above the sleeping plains. Perched on twisted branches, the owl scans the grass below, searching for the slightest rustle, a mouse darting between stalks or an unsuspecting insect. With a sudden, precise dive, it strikes, its talons closing around its prey in a deadly embrace. Beneath the cover of shrubs, the African genet emerges. Its slender body and boldly striped tail are the perfect tools for stealth, allowing it to melt into the tangled undergrowth unseen by all but the sharpest eyes. Guided by a keen sense of smell and piercing night vision, the genet weaves through a labyrinth of shadows. Every step is measured, every pause a calculation, as it listens for the faintest hint of movement in the grass. Agile and alert, the genet climbs, leaps and prowls, hunting everything from beetles to bird eggs. It's always wary, for larger predators may be lurking nearby, their presence betrayed only by a whisper in the wind. Not far away, the African civet begins its nightly patrol. Emerging from the shadows, it moves with a quiet confidence, its senses finely tuned to the mysteries of the night. With a masked face and a body built for agility, the civet glides through the darkness, its movements smooth and deliberate. It explores the savannah with a patience born of countless generations of survival. Its sensitive nose searches for ripe fruit and small prey, while its secretive nature keeps it hidden from prying eyes. The civet is a master of evasion, slipping away at the slightest hint of danger. The civet's world is a tapestry of scents and subtle sounds, woven together in the stillness of midnight. Every breath, every twitch of its ears is a response to the invisible signals of the night. Rarely do the paths of these nocturnal hunters cross, yet their lives are intertwined in a delicate balance. Each predator carves out its own existence, their territories overlapping in a silent, unseen dance. Every species forges its own path through the darkness, relying on unique adaptations, keen senses, silent movement, and unmatched patience to survive the long hours until dawn. Their encounters are fleeting, cautious, and wordless, forming the rhythm of the night. Each interaction, no matter how brief, shapes the delicate web of life that stretches across the savannah. While the world above slumbers, the secret guardians of the savannah thrive. Their stories unfold in the hush of darkness, hidden from all but the most attentive eyes. Their tales are written in moonbeams and shadows, a living testament that the wild heart of Africa beats strongest after the sun has set. In the endless night, the savannah's true hunters reign, their legacy etched into the very fabric of the darkness. Beneath the thunderous steps of giants, where the earth trembles with every stride, a hidden world thrives, one that is rarely seen, yet endlessly vital. In the cool shadows cast by predators and prey alike, the savannah pulses with the tireless energy of insects. These are the unsung architects, the silent engineers who shape the land in ways both profound and invisible. As the first light of dawn brushes the horizon, termite workers emerge from their fortress-like mounds. Their day begins before the sun fully rises, and their labor never ceases. With jaws that never tire, they gather grass, wood, and soil, working in perfect harmony, each individual guided by instinct and the needs of the colony. Night after night, these tireless builders construct towering mounds that rise above the grasslands like ancient monuments. Each mound is a marvel of natural engineering, an intricate labyrinth of twisting tunnels and chambers, carefully ventilated to regulate temperature and humidity. Within these walls, millions of termites live and work, their collective effort transforming the very soil beneath the savannah. The mounds aerate the earth, manage moisture, and create fertile ground where new plants can take root. Around these structures, lush greenery flourishes, feeding herds of grazers and, in turn, the predators that follow. Nearby, as dust settles and the air cools, dung beetles begin their nightly dance. With remarkable strength, they roll balls of dung across the savannah, guided by the faint light of the moon and stars. They dig, roll, and bury the droppings of herbivores, recycling nutrients back into the earth. Their relentless work cleanses the savannah, reduces the spread of disease, and enriches the soil, ensuring that grasses grow thick and green for the antelope and zebra herds that roam these plains. Without the dung beetles' devotion, the land would soon be choked by waste, and the cycle of life would falter. Across the grass, endless columns of ants march with unwavering purpose. These tireless guardians patrol the savannah in lines that stretch as far as the eye can see. Each ant a single note in a symphony of movement. Some ants tend to aphids, gently herding them and collecting the sweet honeydew they produce. Others defend the thorny acacia trees from hungry herbivores, forming unlikely alliances with the very plants they protect. Beneath the surface, their tunnels break up compacted soil, allowing rainwater to seep deep and roots to spread wide. Their networks are the veins of the savanna, carrying life-giving water and air to the plants above. For the larger animals of the savanna, the work of these tiny creatures is nothing short of essential. The grass that feeds the herds grows lush and strong because of the insects' constant care. Elephants and buffalo graze on fields nourished by insect-enriched soil. Birds follow swarms of army ants, feasting on the insects that flee from their relentless advance. Even the predators benefit, for the health of their prey depends on the invisible labor of insects beneath their feet. In the savanna, every life is woven into a single, intricate web. The smallest creatures support the largest, and the fate of all is bound together. While the drama of lions and leopards may capture the spotlight, it is the insects who sustain the stage. Their quiet industry ensures that the cycle of life continues season after season beneath the endless African sky, a testament to the power of the smallest architects in shaping the destiny of the wild savanna. Under the hot African sun, the huge savanna goes on forever. Its golden grass shines with heat. In this tough land, there's one thing that makes every heart beat, every move, every life: water. Waterholes, like shiny jewels spread across the plains, are much more than just puddles. They are the lifeblood of the savanna, pulling animals from far away. Here, a quiet agreement and a silent fight happen at the same time, as animals gather in a careful balance of needing water and being careful. As the first light of morning touches the sky, the earliest animals come out of the shadows. Their shapes move quietly, almost like ghosts, toward the promise of water. Antelopes and zebras, always watching, lower their heads to drink in the cool morning air. Their ears twitch at every sound, muscles tight, ready to jump away at the smallest sign of danger. Soon the ground shakes as elephants come near. Whole groups, led by smart female elephants, make their way to the water's edge. Their presence makes everyone respect them. With each strong step, the elephants take their spot. Their trunks swirl and splash, making waves across the shiny water. The air is full of the sound of water and their deep, rumbling calls. But this peace is weak. It could break at any moment. In the tall grass, lions and cheetahs wait, their eyes fixed on the gathering. They are patient, blending in perfectly with the land, every muscle ready for the perfect moment. Predators know that the waterhole is a place for both chances and danger. Here, the strong need for water brings prey close enough to attack, but the risk of a fight is always there. Prey animals drink fast, their eyes darting around, every sense on high alert. At the smallest rustle, a wave of fear goes through the group, and in a second, they are ready to run away. Sometimes the tension explodes into a mess. A group of lions bursts from hiding, or a crocodile jumps from the water. Hooves thunder, dust swirls, and the waterhole becomes a stage for a desperate fight between living and dying. Above, groups of birds fly and call, their wings shining in the sunlight. They swoop down in graceful curves, dipping their beaks for a quick drink before flying away. At the muddy edges, warthogs kneel to drink, their noses covered in dirt. Giraffes, clumsy yet graceful, spread their long legs and lower their necks very carefully, risking danger for a rare, precious drink. Even the smallest creatures find safety here. Turtles sunbathe on the edges, insects dance above the water, and frogs croak from the tall grass. Their lives, too, are tied to these small pools. As the sun gets higher, the competition gets stronger. The waterhole becomes crowded, and every animal must fight for its spot. Buffalo groups push for space, their horns hitting each other. Hippos yell and fight, sending waves across the water. Baboons argue over safe spots, their calls echoing in the heat. Every animal, from the strong to the weak, is pulled into this daily drama. a careful dance of need, caution, and living together. Each interaction is a story of survival, a moment in the endless cycle of life. As evening comes, the waterhole changes again. The light gets softer and the air cools, inviting new visitors to the stage. Night animals come out, their eyes shining in the dark. The waterhole becomes a place of mystery, where unseen dramas happen under the stars. In the savannah, water is more than just staying alive. It is the big stage where lives meet, friendships are made, and the circle of life turns day after day under the endless African sky. In the huge plains of the African savannah, staying alive often depends on being able to disappear. Here, animals big and small have learned to be really good at hiding. They use different ways to blend in or pretend to be something else, so they can hunt, avoid being hunted, and do well in this tough place. The lioness's sandy fur looks just like the golden grass, letting her sneak up on her prey without being seen. She moves very carefully, every muscle tight, her eyes locked on the antelope eating nearby. In a flash, she jumps out from where she was hiding, changing from an invisible shadow to a dangerous force. But it's not just the hunters who are good at hiding. The antelope themselves use their earthy fur and soft colors to disappear into the land. Their white bellies break up their shape in the tall grass. When they feel danger, they move as one, a fast, organized movement that confuses those chasing them. The chameleon, with its ability to change color, is probably the most famous shapeshifter in the savannah. Sitting on a branch, it looks around with eyes that move separately, its skin changing colors to match what's around it. This amazing ability not only hides it from animals that want to eat it, but also helps it sneak up on bugs that don't suspect a thing. In the bushes, the African wild dog uses a different trick. Its patchy fur of black, white, and brown creates a confusing pattern that makes it hard to tell one dog from another when the group is moving. This group camouflage tricks both the animals they hunt and the animals that hunt them, making the group better at catching food. Even the smallest creatures in the savannah are good at pretending to be something else. The mantis, looking like a leaf, waits quietly on a twig, impossible to tell apart from the plants. Nearby, the African swallowtail caterpillar looks like bird poop, a smart trick that scares away animals that might want to eat it. The art of hiding also reaches into the sky. The steppe eagle, with its brown and golden feathers, flies high, its colors blending with the sunny sky. Below, the dark feathers of the ground hornbill blend with the shadows from acacia trees, making it almost invisible as it looks for food. As the sun goes down and the savannah gets dark, night animals come out, continuing the game of hiding. The spotted civet, with its patchy fur, moves like a ghost in the night, its coat blending with the moonlit leaves. In this place where staying alive is a constant fight, being able to disappear into the background isn't just helpful, it's a must. From the biggest animals to the tiniest bugs, the creatures of the savannah have become experts at hiding and pretending, each one learning to fit into their always changing home. In the African savannah, the difference between life and death often comes down to who can see without being seen, who can hunt without being hunted. It's a world where being able to disappear is super important, and the masters of disguise keep telling their stories in the shadows. Beneath the vast, endless sky of the African savannah, a new generation takes its very first breath. The golden light of dawn spills across the plains, illuminating a world where every life is a fragile miracle and every beginning is shadowed by the ever-present threat of danger. Here each birth is a spark of hope, delicate, trembling, and fiercely protected. In the tall grass, a newborn antelope blinks at the world, its mother nuzzling it gently, urging it to stand. The air is thick with anticipation, for in these first moments survival hangs by a thread. Not far away, a lioness withdraws into a secluded thicket, far from the pride. She moves with silent determination, seeking a hidden sanctuary where she can bring her cubs into the world. Away from prying eyes and lurking threats, her cubs, born blind and helpless, nestle close to her warmth. For weeks their world is no larger than the den and the steady rhythm of their mother's heartbeat. They depend entirely on her, her milk, her warmth, her vigilance. The lioness leaves only to hunt, her absence brief and her return always gentle. She licks her cubs clean, her presence a living shield against prowling predators. In these hidden moments the bond between mother and young is forged in quiet determination. Nearby, the birth of an elephant calf is a communal event. The entire herd gathers, forming a protective wall of massive bodies around the newborn. Trunks reach out, caressing the calf, welcoming it into the fold. Every member of the family, mothers, aunts, older siblings, plays a role. They guide the calf's unsteady steps, teaching it to follow the herd, to recognize the calls and signals that bind them together. The calf learns the language of rumbles and gentle touches, a symphony of care passed down through generations. The low, soothing rumbles of the adults reassure the young, their trunks offering comfort and guidance. In this living tapestry, every gesture is a lesson, every sound a promise of protection. Yet the savannah is not a gentle teacher. Danger is ever present, and the young must learn quickly or perish. A newborn gazelle, still slick from birth, is nudged to its feet within minutes. Its mother urges it on, knowing that every second counts. The calf's legs tremble, but instinct and urgency drive it forward. Stillness is not an option here. In the shadows, hungry eyes watch, waiting for a moment's weakness. The mother's gentle prodding is both encouragement and warning. Move or be caught. Camouflage and speed become the first lessons. The fawn learns to melt into the grass, to run at the slightest hint of danger, its heart pounding with the rhythm of survival. The mother remains ever vigilant, her senses tuned to the faintest sign of threat. She teaches her young to trust the grass, to trust her, and to always be ready to flee. For many creatures, parenthood is a race against time. The cheetah mother, wary and swift, moves her cubs from place to place, never lingering long enough for danger to find them. She carries her cubs one by one, teaching them the art of stealth and the necessity of constant movement. Each relocation is a lesson in caution, each journey a test of endurance. Under her watchful gaze, the cubs practice their first pounces and sprints, their play a rehearsal for the hunts that will one day decide their fate. Day by day they grow stronger, their muscles learning the language of speed. The bond between mother and young is a lifeline, a slender thread woven through the harsh fabric of the wild. It is in these moments of closeness that the young find the courage to face the unknown. Even the smallest creatures face monumental challenges. A tiny rodent or insect emerging from its burrow must navigate a world filled with giants and dangers at every turn. In a hidden den, a meerkat pup blinks at the sunlight for the first time, its senses overwhelmed by the brightness and the sounds of the open world. Older siblings and vigilant sentinels teach the pup how to forage, how to dig, and how to recognize the shadow of a hawk overhead. Every lesson is a matter of life and death. Survival here is a family affair. Each member contributes to the safety and education of the young, their unity a shield against the dangers that prowl the savannah. As days turn to weeks and weeks to months, the young of the savannah grow bolder. Curiosity draws them from the safety of their dens, their first steps into the unknown filled with wonder and risk. They stumble, they play, they test boundaries. Each mistake is a lesson, each fall a step toward mastery. The savannah is both classroom and crucible, shaping the next generation with every challenge. Some will fall, claimed by predators or the unforgiving elements. But those who endure will carry the ancient wisdom of their kind, etched into their bones by every trial survived. This is the cycle of life in the savannah, a tapestry woven from courage, care, and resilience. Every creature, great and small, plays a part in this eternal story. In the struggle of every newborn and the sacrifice of every parent, the heartbeat of the wild endures, undaunted, unbroken, and always reaching for tomorrow. Every year a breathtaking show happens across the African plains. a living wave of hooves and horns moving through the sunny savanna. This is the Great Migration, a never-ending trip that shapes the future of the land and all its animals. Millions of wildebeest, along with zebras and antelopes, cross the plains looking for new grass and water to keep them alive. The ground shakes under their movement like thunder rumbling through the valleys and along the riverbanks. From one side of the sky to the other, the herd spreads out like a moving carpet, each animal pushed by an old rhythm built into their very bones. But this trip is full of danger. Rivers made big by far-off rains become tricky paths they must cross to live. Crocodiles hide in the muddy water, mouths wide open, ready to grab those not paying attention. On the open plains, lions and hyenas watch the herd, their eyes on the weak and the young. Clouds of dust rise as thousands of animals push forward, the air filled with the sounds of wildebeest and the rumble of countless hooves. But this migration is more than just trying to stay alive. It is the spirit of the plains. As the herds move, they trim the grasses, make the soil rich, and spread seeds, bringing life back to the land. Their journey feeds predators, scavengers, and even the tiniest bugs, connecting the future of all creatures in a delicate balance. This never-ending cycle, not broken by time or human hands, is proof of the strong power of the wild. The migration is not just a trip, it is the heartbeat of the plains, a beat of life, strength and hope ringing through the ages. As the dust of the Great Migration settles, another group of creatures emerges from the shadows, often overlooked but so vital to the health of the savanna. They are the Scavengers, nature's clean-up crew, tireless workers in the endless cycle of life and death. Under the scorching African sun, remains left behind by predators and the migration itself don't last long. Within moments the air fills with the sound of wings from white-backed vultures descending in spiraling circles from the sky. Their sharp eyes can spot a carcass from miles away, and with their strong beaks they tear through tough hides, reaching what others cannot. By the time the vultures are done, only bones remain. But the work isn't over yet. Hyenas with their bone-crushing jaws arrive to claim what's left. Their cackles echo across the plains as they devour bones and tendons, extracting every last nutrient. Even the smallest bits don't go to waste. Jackals and marabou storks rummage through the scraps, making sure nothing is left behind. Below the surface, armies of beetles and worms begin their work, breaking down what's left into fertile soil. Within days, a carcass that represented the end of one life becomes the foundation for countless others. Nutrients return to the earth, feeding the grasses that will one day nourish new generations. The role of scavengers isn't just to dispose of the dead, but to protect the living. By quickly removing remains, they limit the spread of diseases and keep the savanna clean. In this way, they are silent guardians, maintaining balance, preventing disease outbreaks, and ensuring the cycle continues. In the grand tapestry of the savanna, scavengers are the invisible threads that bind everything together. Through their tireless work, life is renewed, and Africa's wild heart beats on undiminished. As the sun moves across the endless savanna sky, time isn't measured in hours, but in seasons. Here the rhythm of life is set by the coming and going of the rains. Each year this ancient land changes, swinging between times of plenty and times of scarcity, a constant test for every creature that calls the savanna home. The first whispers of the wet season begin with distant thunder and the smell of wet earth. Clouds gather, casting shadows that ripple across the golden grasslands. When the rains finally arrive, the change is almost like magic. The thirsty ground drinks deeply, and hidden seeds burst into life. Grasses shoot up in a lush green carpet, rivers swell, and temporary ponds spread across the landscape. With this new life, the herds of wildebeest, zebras, and antelopes return, bringing their young with them. Calves and foals, born to match the time of plenty, find safety in numbers and food in the new growth. The predators also get a boost. Lionesses stalk through the tall grass, cheetahs dash across the open plains, and leopards roam the refreshed forests. each one taking advantage of the season's abundance. But as the rains lessen and the dry season tightens its grip, the savannah changes again. The grasses turn brittle and brown, water sources shrink and disappear, and dust hangs in the air, shimmering in the intense heat. Now staying alive needs cleverness. Elephants walk for miles, guided by memory, looking for hidden water. Herbivores follow ancient migration paths, driven by thirst. Predators become thinner and their hunts become more desperate. Life gathers around the few remaining water sources, a stage for both cooperation and conflict. Crocodiles lie in wait, hippos crowd for space, and flocks of birds come down to drink and bathe. The competition is fierce, and every sip is hard-earned. Smaller creatures also adjust to these tough conditions. Burrowing animals retreat underground, only coming out at dusk. Insects time their life cycles to the rains, appearing in swarms when conditions are just right. Everywhere, wildlife is shaped by the pulse of the seasons, and every adaptation is a testament to how tough they are. Through drought and flood, the savannah endures, its inhabitants caught in an endless dance with the elements. Here, every life is a story of adapting, and every season is a new chapter in the epic of survival. Without the challenge of change, the savannah would lose its energy. Instead, it thrives, its wild heart beating to the rhythm of the rains. In the wide golden plains of Africa, every day and night we see a quiet dance, a dance as old as life itself. Here, the link between predator and prey isn't just about fighting to stay alive, it's a careful balance that decides the fate of both the hunter and the hunted. The day starts with the first sunbeam shining on the backs of grazing gazelles. Herds of impala, wildebeest, and zebras spread out across the plains, always awake, their ears moving and their noses sniffing the changing wind. Their lives are a constant watch, a symphony of movement and caution. Every step, every pause to eat is carefully thought out against the danger that's always there behind the moving grass. Hidden in the shadows, predators sharpen their senses. A lioness lowers herself, blending perfectly with the yellowish-brown ground, her muscles tight and her eyes fixed on the weakest member of the herd. She is patient, waiting for the exact moment when worry spreads through the group. Nearby, a cheetah watches the horizon, looking for a lone gazelle, a test of speed and accuracy that will last only seconds but will decide the fate of two lives. Predators and prey are connected. The impala's watchfulness shapes the leopard's hunting plan, making it rely on stealth and cleverness more than brute force. The migration patterns of the wildebeest decide the movements of entire lion prides, and each adapts to the changing flow of chances and scarcity. Even the smallest creatures have a role in this drama, a mongoose running from its burrow, trying to escape the talons of a martial eagle circling above. When the chase begins, the plains hold their breath. Hooves pound the ground, dust flies, and for a moment time seems to stop. Sometimes the predator's gamble pays off, a quick hunt, a meal to satisfy hunger. But most of the time, the prey escapes and its watchfulness is rewarded. Every meeting is a lesson, sharpening the instincts and strategies of both sides. Yet this relationship isn't endless violence. Predators get rid of the sick and weak, which makes sure their herds stay healthy. The presence of danger sharpens senses, strengthens bodies, and drives the development of countless ways to adapt. Speed, camouflage, teamwork, and intelligence. In this way, predator and prey are partners in an unspoken agreement, each one necessary for the other's existence. As the sun sets, the sound of the plains changes. Night hunters appear, and the cycle continues. Quiet footsteps, watchful eyes, and hearts beating to the rhythm of survival. In every season, in drought and rain, the eternal dance goes on, shaping the wild beauty of the plains, and reminding us that every life here, whether hunter or hunted, is a thread in nature's grand tapestry. In the vast, sun-drenched plains, every living thing faces one never-ending test: adapt or perish. Here, survival isn't just about speed or strength, it's about clever strategies, honed over thousands of years. As predator and prey play out their eternal battle, the savanna's plants and animals quietly show off an amazing array of adaptations, each one a masterpiece of evolution. Beneath the golden grasses, acacia trees send their roots deep into the earth, tapping into hidden water reserves during the driest times. Their small, waxy leaves reduce water loss under the scorching sun. But survival comes at a cost. Animals like giraffes and elephants crave their tender leaves. To defend itself, the acacia tree arms itself with long, razor-sharp thorns and even releases bitter-tasting chemicals when eaten, a warning that quickly spreads to neighboring trees. Elsewhere, the baobab tree stands like a living reservoir, its swollen trunk storing thousands of liters of water to endure the dry season. When food is scarce, elephants and baboons nibble on its bark, getting precious moisture and nutrients. For animals, every day demands clever solutions. The African spiny lizard can shed parts of its skin to escape a predator's grasp, then grow it back good as new. And dung beetles roll dung balls not just for food, but to escape the burning ground, using them as moving platforms that stay cooler than the sun-baked earth. In the open grasslands, the impala's coat is a perfect blend of light brown and white, making it almost invisible in the tall grasses. And when threatened, the impala makes high, bouncy leaps, a move called stotting, to confuse predators and signal its fitness, often discouraging a chase. Birds also have their tricks. The secretary bird with its long legs stalks through the grasses, using quick, powerful kicks to hunt venomous snakes. Meanwhile, the social weaver builds massive communal nests, insulating hundreds of birds from both extreme temperatures and predators. Even the smallest creatures play their part. Termites build towering mounds, complete with complex ventilation systems that regulate temperature and humidity, providing a stable home for their colony against the harsh savanna conditions. Each adaptation is a story of trial and error, a life pushing the limits of what's possible. Through droughts and floods, extreme heat and cold nights, the savanna's plants and animals reveal nature's incredible capacity for innovation. In this land, survival favors not the strongest or the fastest, but the most adaptable. Those who can turn challenge into opportunity and hardship into triumph. In the heart of the African savanna, water isn't just a resource. It's the very core of life itself. As the dry season gets tougher, rivers shrink into dusty beds, and grasslands that were once super green turn into brittle gold. The fight to survive becomes an everyday thing, shaped by the constant search for every drop of moisture. Across the dry plains, herds of wildebeest and zebras move together, noses to the ground, following the faint smell of water far away. They remember old migration paths, etched into their memory over generations, leading them to the last remaining waterholes, oases where life gathers in a fragile peace. Here, predator and prey share uneasy truces, united by thirst. Elephants, with their deep knowledge of the land, dig into dry riverbeds with their strong trunks, finding hidden pockets of water that not only support their families, but also countless smaller creatures waiting nearby for their chance to drink. Adapting is the savanna's answer to scarcity. Gazelles and antelopes slow down their activity in the shimmering heat, resting in the shade and feeding at dawn and dusk to save precious fluids. Their bodies get the most moisture from every blade of grass, while their kidneys work overtime, making waste more concentrated to lose less water. For some, survival depends on clever reserves. The baobab tree, swollen with rainwater from the wetter months, becomes a living reservoir. Birds and mammals peck at its moist bark, getting nourishment when everything else fails. Other plants, like succulents, store water in their fleshy leaves, lasting weeks without a single drop from the sky. Even the smallest living things have developed amazing ways to deal with drought. Termites retreat into their cool, damp mounds, sealed tight to keep moisture in. Burrowing frogs stay hidden underground, wrapped in a cocoon of dry skin, patiently waiting for the rain to return. As the sun sets, the air cools and dew forms, nature's quiet gift. Tiny creatures appear to drink from the delicate drops that gather on leaves and grass. Every drop is precious, and every adaptation is proof of their endurance. In the savannah, drought isn't just a hurdle, it's a test. Those who can find water, store it, or simply make do with less are the ones who last. Through hardship, the savannah's inhabitants show a deep truth. In this extreme land, survival belongs to those who master the art of enduring, patiently waiting for the life-giving promise of rain.